All right, everybody, welcome to episode number two of the Last Best Take. Today we're going to talk about the winners and losers of free agency on Friday the 13th. So some scary stuff going down. Um, we'll talk about seven or eight teams and maybe a couple of the key remaining players and see what best fits they have. I know Ron introduced Larry by name last time. Obviously, he's the winner of the Ravens debacle with the Max Crosby. So he's here.
Definitely.
Riley. I don't know where Riley's at. He's trying to get rid of that beer that he had over celebrating about it. So um, so welcome to the show, Larry.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
Here we go. So let's start off with the Los Angeles Chargers. What's your thoughts on those guys? How do you feel? Yeah, are they winners? They losers? Ron, go
I
ahead and
definitely think one thing they are winners about is Keaton Mitchell, the dude from Baltimore, comes over, gives Michael McDaniels a new speed option out there, and they get both their tackles back. So I think they're going to be doing pretty darn well. I think they're winners, especially with the decrease in the defense that you know, from the AFC West as far as the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Donkeys.
yeah. No, I agree. I like the pickup of the running back from again the Ravens. Like he had some good runs last preseason, but you ain't gonna get much run behind Derrick Henry. So getting Mitchell was a nice little piece too. Ron, you got anything on it?
Yeah, I think they are winners. They added a couple linemen, Cole Strange, guard, and then they also got Tyler Biadasz. I think that's how you say his name, the center. He was on
Center.
Dallas a few years ago. He's pretty solid. They're definitely loading up to protect their QB, Herbert, since the end of the season, it was kind of a rough year for him. Um, yeah, then they went and got another Ravens guy, Charlie Kohler, a blocking tight end, who is going to help their run game. So yeah, they beefed up that O line. They're going to be solid. And then, like you guys said, you had the departures of both the corners at the Chiefs. Both those guys went to the Rams. So Herbert's going to be able to sling it around on that defense. Um, the Raiders, they loaded up, but it's the Raiders. No offense, Larry.
It's always next
Uh,
year. No, we'll get to them.
we'll see who you get at quarterback, and then maybe we'll talk. And then Denver lost some key defensive players. Dre Greenlaw, he was one of my favorite. I'm glad he came back to the Niners. Um, yeah, I think the Chargers are winners in this free agency. Protect your QB. They signed back Khalil Mack and Tyir Tart, two key defensive players. Um, and then they brought in the big man, Dalvin Tomlinson, beefed up that run defense. So yeah, I'm gonna say they're winners.
Yep.
I
The
agree. I
only
think Justin Herbert's the big winner in it. I mean, especially if he can get a jump up with from Quentin Johnson and Trey Harris. I'm a big fan of Trey Harris. I think he can do some special things. So we'll see what they do. Their only loss that affected me was Big Montana Will Disley was released from them. But other than that, I think Chargers are going to be right there to compete. Larry, did you have something?
Nope. I was going to say the opposite. Besides McConkey, who do they really have to throw the ball to? Johnson and Harris. We'll see. But that was my only other thing: is who do they really have to throw the ball to if they load the box up against blue? Not blue. What's the running backs names for the Chargers? Oh,
Hampton.
Mary Hampton, and what's the other one? Vital. Yeah, those two. So we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
but
go ahead.
Harbaugh's always kind of been a run first guy. So and then they brought in the OC from the Dolphins, who was pretty pivotal and when he was with the 49ers in the run game coordination. So
Oh
I think
yeah.
that's kind of what they want to do this year. I don't know if they want Justin Herbert standing back there getting hit a bunch.
So
I think they're tied to O linemen in the first round or two too. So I think they'll beef up that a little bit. Trey Harris will spread the top. I think Quinn Johnson has that ability as well. consistency is his big struggle. Well, let's move on to one of the big spenders. Let's go to the Tennessee Titans. What do you guys think about them?
Let me pull up my notes real quick on them.
The one thing I do like the two ends they got. What's his name? Jeremiah Johnson from the Jets that was with Sala up there, draft pick. And then they also got that Jonathan Franklin Myers from Denver on the other outside, which I think, you know, that's good. But other than that, I'm not too excited. I know they did spend a lot of money, but I mean, what was the other one? Wandale Robinson. Last
Wandale.
time he was with Dabo, he didn't really show much. So I'm not too impressed. Yes, they spent money, but we'll see.
Yeah, Wandale had probably his best year last year. He had a couple big games. Most of them were with old Jameis. Um, but I think he's going to have a chance. I mean, uh, to do something. I think he'll have more opportunities now that he's not opposite of Malik Neighbors and whatnot. Um, they got the fourth pick in the draft, which they're tied to the DN David Bailey out of Texas Tech. I think that would be huge. Um, they
What a
got five pieces on defense is what I got for them. Ron, do you got the names on those?
Yeah, I got the names on those guys. Let me find that.
I think
So
I
that
think the
trade
coaching
with
upgrades is going to be big for him, especially
yeah, that'll
defensively.
yeah, that'll be huge. That trade, I think, where they traded the big man from Texas to to get Jeremiah Johnson, I think that was huge because I know when Sala was our defense coordinator last year, they wanted to bring Jeremiah Johnson over with during the trade deadline, but they just couldn't make the compensation work. So I know he wants him. Pairing him up with somebody in the draft potentially, getting John Franklin Myers to help that defense because they sent away the big man. So they kind of replace him. He's more of a pass rusher specialist guy. Um, so him and uh, what's his name? Having a brain fart. Anyways, that'll be. I think they brought in a lot of guys that are going to help that defense big time. They got another. They brought in a corner. Uh, Float, I think is what his name was. Two corners actually. They brought in the New Orleans guy, Alante Taylor. He was considered to be one of the best defensive backs in free agency. So they got him. Uh, they were just released Jadarius Sneed, which was considered a top 10 corner when they traded him 2 years ago. I think they traded a third round pick and they did a seventh round pick swap when they did that. He only played 11 games with him, so we'll see if anybody wants to take a flyer on that guy. Um, that's all. The Rondell uh,
good Smalls.
Robinson, that he's going to be a pretty solid complement to the receivers they got. They got a couple of younger wide receivers that tend to stretch the field. He can kind of do the underneath stuff, so he's a pretty complement in that offense. They're going to have to do quite a few things in the draft still to make that team what it Sala wants it to be, but overall, I think they did a pretty good job of the use of their funds. Did you guys see those uniforms though that they just released?
I don't know if I've
Those
seen
are
them.
hideous. It looks like they got those from the Dallas Renegades. And that's maybe what they did. They spent too much money. They had to go get them from the Dallas Renegades of the UFL. They look the exact same.
Huh. I don't even know if I even know what the Dallas Renegades are.
Well, yeah. If you
Larry,
Google
you
them, they
muted
got the
yourself
same
again.
uniforms damn near.
But I mean, the big thing with the Titans, for me, is that they play in a division that isn't that strong. I mean, I know the Colts started off 7-1 under Jones last year, but they I think minor adjustments they can make themselves into a potential division winner, and then come playoff time at 1 week at a time. So yeah, Larry, you're still muted, by the way.
Good Lord.
And they did make a trade with Dallas to get Solomon Thomas
That's
to
true.
help with that
Inside.
D line too. He's kind of more of a versatile guy, D end, D tackle. He can kind of rush the passer on the inside on third downs. So they're definitely Saleh's definitely putting in the work on that defense, and we'll see.
One thing that's why I think Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, running back at pick what 4, I think for them. I know it's always high for a running back, but they him and Cam Ward with Dayball, so we can see what happens. But
Yeah, I know Pollard had 1,000 yards last year, um, but they did. There's still talk about potentially Love going there. So I mean, I think they should go David Bailey. I mean, Pollard was serviceable. There's still some other backs out there. I think that they can at least use as like the 1-2. So um, I think they should just continue to work on that defense and then just go from there. But yeah, let's move on to the Super Bowl champs, Seattle Seahawks. So, what do you guys think about them? How do you think their free agency has gone so far?
It hasn't been good. I mean, it kind of happens every year with Super Bowl teams.
I think it's been
You get
great.
there, especially the winning teams. You get there, they get their championship, and then they want the money. They chase the money. So that's kind of what happens. They've lost some key players. The running back,
Definitely
the MVP running back, they let walk. Go. He went to the Chiefs. Uh, Rig
three
Woolen.
secondary, three corners.
Yeah, he went to the Eagles, right?
One went to the Eagles. I know Reek Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Boye Mafe. He was a linebacker, wasn't he? Or DN.
Yeah, he was a DN. He was kind of pushed down the depth chart, but he was solid when he was in. So yeah, they lost some key spots. I think they have a lot of money, but I think they have to allocate it to sign the receiver. Um,
JSN.
so we'll see.
Yeah, I think they still need a little bit more work on that O line. Um, that's probably where their draft will go. I mean, Sam Donald stepped up his game even another level, which was kind of surprising to me. I think the biggest problem for them is what the Niners and the Rams have done, and I'm not sure the Rams are done. I keep hearing talk of they're tied to AJ Brown, and so if they could somehow bring him in too, then I don't know how anybody's going to stop those receivers, especially with Stafford. So, Larry, what are you thinking?
big losers just with all the talent, like you said, losing their running back and that 1-2 punch from last year, as well as the secondary. So we'll see next year. Keeping the receiver, what's his name, Shakir,
JSN,
um, no, JSN out, yeah, JSN, but the other one that burned the Niners for the touchdown returns. What's his name? You
Rashid
guys should
Shaheed.
remember. There you
Rashid
go,
Shaheed.
Rahid. Yeah, him. Keeping him is a big one. I would have loved to see him go to the Raiders with Kubiak and see what kind of magic they could work with, Mendoza and all that type of stuff with a new line. And
yep. So
Yeah, they have a lot of free agents right now. So that's kind of like their focus is to kind of re-sign those guys, but a lot of them are leaving, just because that's just how it goes. They're still going to be good. They got a lot of their key players still, so that defense lost a few pieces, but they're still going to be good. But
they just signed,
for the
was it
free agents' sake, they're losers. They've lost quite a few good players. So
they? I'm pretty sure they signed a running back uh, to do their 1-2 punch. Still, was it Joe Mixon? Who was it? I'm trying to
I
look it
just
up.
had it pulled up.
Josh Joby, Emmanuel Wilson. I think he was a Green Bay guy that couldn't stay healthy.
Emmanuel, yeah, yeah, he
Huh.
was the third down back for Green Bay for quite a few years.
Okay, it looks like they
He's
signed a couple of. I mean, Rodney Thomas. I mean, I think most of these are guys that were already on the team. They just re-signed them. Um, so let's go on to um the New York Ravens. I mean Giants. How about that team? What do you guys think about their free agents.
They've been pretty solid. They had a good defense. Let me see. I had the picture of all the guys they had. I don't want to mess it up. Let me.
I mean,
Um,
my opinion is there's no safe crayon left in New York after they got Ricard, and once Scattaboo gets there, all the crayons are going to be eaten. It's going to be a bunch of bloody noses, and like I, they need to invest in those big helmets that Romeo Dobbs get some of those sent from New England now. There, but I mean, they got Likely to help with that. Um, uh, they had Theo Johnson, who's Jackson Dart's old roommate. So they have two good tight ends. I know Harbaugh likes that system. I think another big one is if they end up not being able to kick the ball, they got the punter from the Ravens too. So um, they got the fifth pick in the draft. I mean, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles. There's talk of Jeremiah Love. I mean, I think there's none of those. You're not really losing with any of those guys. Their defense was pretty tough last year. They just were missing a couple pieces. So like a Caleb Downs, I that sounds like a perfect fit for Harbaugh with his Kyle Hamilton type safeties in the pass. So I think that's where they'll go. But Sonny Styles, athletic freak. I mean they're saying generational talent from Love. I haven't watched enough of him to really form that strong of an opinion. But what do you guys think?
uh, yeah, I think the Isaiah Likely's signing's pretty huge. They got a rookie quarterback, and a rookie quarterback's best friend is the tight ends. So they got two pretty good ones there. I think that's going to be beneficial for his development. They re-signed their right tackle, Jermaine Ellimore, which I feel like was a pretty big deal. They have a pretty solid offensive line. They maybe need to add a guy or two, but to bring him back, he played with the Ravens also, so he's familiar with what John Harbaugh wants to do. They brought in Calvin Austin the third to kind of replace what uh, to
Wandale.
replace Wandell. Yeah, uh, yeah. They've had a pretty solid, not bad. They they uh they also poached a safety from the Ravens. So like you said, the New York Ravens uh are Darius Washington. Uh, he's kind of been plagued with injury, but I know the one year that he played like most of the year, he was having a pretty solid year. He's a single high safety. He can kind of cover the whole field back there. So to add that to the defense, and like you said, if they go after the Ohio State safety, that's going to be huge. Caleb Downs and him back there, that their defense is already pretty good with the guys they have on that line. Um, they're going to be a pretty good defense. They need to get some more weapons, maybe a wide receiver in the draft.
Isn't that the damn
Mix
defense
in
you used in the championship to beat me?
probably they're
Yeah.
solid. They got that sat. They I think they were leading this lead in sacks at one point, just with
28
how many
points
guys
on
they got there.
championship week to lose to a guy with New York Giants defense. So, yeah.
Yeah, they also signed a corner, Greg Newsome, who's a pretty good, solid zone covered corner. So yeah, their defense is pretty good. So that's
What do you
all I
think,
really
Larry?
got.
Well, that's exactly that defensive line. I mean, you've got if they all three of those guys can stay healthy and stay together. I mean, and then Scadamoo gets healthy, Jackson Dart gets healthy. Then, like you said, you got Isaiah Likely to open it up over the middle. That could be a dangerous, And then, like you said, but Patrick Regard in there also to lead the block for those two. Not too many people are going to want to get in the way of those guys coming downhill. So might be the new version of the tush push with those guys.
No, I mean I can see Jackson Dart likes to take off. So even if he's got Ricard leading the way, it's hard to scheme against a quarterback that can run the ball. And if you got a fullback that's like that, I think that's big. So
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to want to do that anymore after last year. He got pretty dinged up.
his buddy's the guy that slams his head in the walls. You know they're going to do
Yeah, he'll run through a wall, but I'm saying I don't know if
it.
Jackson Dart wants to go and take off after some of the injuries he suffered this year. He got hit pretty good quite a few times. He needs Malik Neighbors back pretty badly. Yeah, they'll probably get another wide receiver in the draft. They'll make a run
There's
towards it.
it's a deep draft for wide receivers, so I can see him getting a second receiver as well. Let's move on to the team on Larry's head. We'll let you lead this one off.
Dude, you cannot be more excited as a Raider fan in the last, I don't know how many years, to see this team actually spend money, but spend money on quality players like N'Kobe Dean and Quay Walker. Those two in the middle, and then you also have Mad Max coming back. Dude, that is going to be pretty nasty, especially them switching over to a 3-4 defense with Robert Leonard going on. Oh man. And then you also have Conway, what is it? Quiddy from New England or
Quiddy Pay.
Indianapolis. Yeah, Quiddy Pay from the first
I was
round
going to
pick
say
from
you're thinking of too
Michigan.
much country music, Conway Twitty or something like that.
And then what's the other guy's name? They re-signed Malcolm Kuntz, which he's been there for a while. He's had flashes, but really nothing. But then those you put those two old Georgia dogs in the middle, and I mean, yeah, that could be nice. And then we have this Eric Stokes coming back. He showed some bright spots last year as well. So, and then of course, with the first round pick, and then, I mean, let's not disagree with Tyler Littenbaum. I mean, coming over, that's going to be huge for the rookie um,
It's a lot of
quarterback
money
coming
though.
in.
That's a lot of
I
money.
don't know if you think of
So they had to spend that money. Like there's like an NFL rule that you have to spend a certain amount of money, and the Raiders have been so low on it that they were about to get in deep trouble if they didn't. So they had to overpay Lindebaum and like
What
Naylor got way overpaid, but they had to, and they didn't know
yeah.
they was getting
26 million
Boston
though?
back.
26 million a year on a center? That's
So
ridiculous.
yeah, they have to
Okay,
That's
pay
so
like
quarterback money.
280 million. They have to average like yeah, it's like 280 million you have to average over a 3-year period. Otherwise the NFL like it's like tanking in the NBA like the Utah Jazz are doing, It's they you can't be doing like it shirts the Raiders, but like I mean, I think the biggest win for them is they were about to cut and be eating some of Geno Smith's contract, and you got the dumbass Jets coming in like, oh no, don't you dare cut him. Let's trade for him. Like that's the biggest
I
win I think for them.
I told you on the last episode that the Jets' plan is to suck and try and get a quarterback, and they did that. They traded for probably the worst quarterback in the league. So I told you that on the
so
last episode.
Yeah,
one that makes me also think though there had to have been somebody else that wanted Geno Smith, because why would the Jets trade for him if they were going to cut him? Regardless, that somebody had to have won him, but also the Jets just wanted him more because his proven results while when he was with them, and then with the Raiders because they want that first round pick. Back to Tyler Littenbaum though, what's the average inside lineman get? $23 million a year.
I
Let's
think
be
he I
honest.
think he I think he blew it out the water. But
Yeah,
I mean it's all good. Like I think it's a great
Well,
pick.
also we've sucked for so long that we've had to pay him extra $5 million, extra a year, which we'll take it. So especially to the average, center, not what he was getting paid before or whatever, like the top
He's
free
probably the second
agencies.
best center in the league. So I mean
yeah.
I
No,
can't complain.
I don't hate on the signing. I think it's a great signing. I wanted the Niners to get him, but 26 million. I just think that's a lot. That's all.
Yeah,
But
they
for
had to.
you guys had the money to spend, so spend it.
I mean
He's going to be good for you. Your
Well,
guys' run game.
especially
You got Ashton Genty back there. He couldn't. They couldn't move anybody off the line, so he's going to be able to do that. So
is
yeah, you overpaid. I think it was a good signing though.
is Patrick Mahomes back week 1 or is he going to be out the start of the season?
I think he's out for a little while now. What type, who do they have for quarterback as far as the second?
I
They
don't know
didn't
because
do
didn't
anything,
they just get rid of their backup?
which was Minshew, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
think
was
he.
Minshew.
Yeah, didn't he go to Arizona?
I think they
Yep.
have that guy that was the quarterback for South Dakota State that has that weird name, that Oladoku or
Oh,
no,
okay. Yeah.
from South Dakota. He played at South Dakota State, I think, or South Dakota, one of those
Well,
smaller FCF
hopefully.
schools that Montana
I
State
mean
plays.
that like that
He was
right
pretty
there
good.
too. Like I said, with the Chargers are winners, the Raiders are winners. I don't think the I mean the Broncos didn't do anything. They they just lost pieces. They're eating parts of Greenlaw's contract, signed him to a 3 year deal and cut him after one. I think it's a pretty good deal for the Raiders. I mean, if Mendoza is anything like he was in college, um, I think they could be right there. They can sneak in as a wild card. Um, so let's move on to the other
Wait,
team.
hold on before we move on. I kind of before free agency thought I kind of thought maybe that they were going to kind of blow it up, and yeah, they already kind of accepted a trade to send Max Crosby away for 2 first round picks. I was kind of under the impression that maybe they were going to try and trade that 1st round pick. Uh, they're not 100% sold on Mendoza. Maybe try and get another pick next year. Uh, trade down a couple spots with the Cardinals, maybe get there first next year. I heard that they were potentially going to do that. Maybe trade for one like Mac Jones or a guy like that as a filler for this year. What do you think of something like that, Larry?
I would be totally against it. I would like to see Mendoza see what he could do with his magic. Granted, nothing's guaranteed next year. You never know. But it could also turn out to be like the Chicago Bears and the Carolina Panthers, which that wouldn't be a bad deal to come back and get, this year's third and next year's first, but I wouldn't do it. I would stay with what we got and let him build with Tyler Littenbaum and kind of grow from there and see what you could get. Now, if we just could give him someone to throw the ball besides, Brock Bowers. That would be nice.
Yeah, yeah. I was just curious because I heard that was a rumor. I don't know if you heard that. I just heard that was a rumor that was potentially happening. But Mendoza's solid. That run he had in the national championship was badass. So I was sold. He won me over, and so I think you guys are
His
gonna you're set up pretty good.
his heart, man. That play showed us a lot of his heart. Man, the old Kenny the Snake Stabler. So watch out.
Holy cow, he's bringing it way back. All right, let's move on to the other team, the team that like pulled the plug on the old Max Crosby trade, Baltimore Ravens. What'd you guys think of them pulling the plug on it?
You can go first, Larry.
Well, I'll take it. I love it. At first, I mean that was a win-win as far as a Raider fan. Two firsts this year and next year, great building spots where they could go, especially since we took their center. So I don't have high hopes for the Ravens this year. I know a lot of other people do, but yeah, two firsts wouldn't have been bad. But then again, I'll take Mad Max back, especially now with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He already plays with that, but now with this even more of a chip on his shoulder because the Baltimore Ravens said no, we don't need you, and then turned around within the next, you know, within 12 hours and signed or 24 hours and signed, Trey Hendrickson, and we'll see with his
The
31-year-old,
deal,
see if
yeah,
how healthy he could stay.
yeah. I mean, Trey Hendrickson just missed 10 games last year with a back, and he's in his 30s, and they signed him for slightly under what Crosby's getting paid at plus an extra year. Um, So I mean, I 3 years younger Crosby. I think what happened is they didn't expect to get gutted, and then they realized that their next year first round pick, was probably going to be a top 10. Uh, I think it's probably going to be a top 5 pick because they're going to be so bad. Like I just
I don't know about that.
don't think that they just I think the Steelers are going to beat them up. It's every other year, so Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are going to win probably Larry a championship since he's got Chase. That it's just that's the way it is. So I mean they lost so much, so many players. I Harbaugh was a good coach. I I don't think they upgraded at the coaching. Um, they need another receiver. What's his name had a good year for him, but he's not a true number one receiver. Flowers, but I mean they're tied to Makai Lemon. Um, had who have they picked up? Have they picked anybody up in free agency really?
I'm not sure if they picked up anybody, but they've lost a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean
oh,
Trey Hendrickson obviously, but
yeah.
No one
Um,
that rings off my belt, the top of my head.
yeah,
I know this the draft's deep with receivers, like you said, but still, look at their history with rookie receivers. It's like the Patriots, not good.
yeah, yeah. They need
yeah,
somebody proven.
they currently have more people departing than they do have signing. Trey Hendrickson was their big one. They had that corner Chidobe Awezi. He was on the Cowboys for a little bit. He was their other, I guess, big signing. He just re-signed with the team, but yeah, I like the head coach that they brought in. I was kind of shocked by that them getting rid of Harbaugh, but I don't know. He was with the team for a long time, so
You want
sometimes the locker room talk kind of wears thin on players, and maybe it was time to cut bait. And I like the guy they brought in, the defense coordinator from the Chargers. Uh, yeah, he's fiery. I think they're going to be all right. I don't think they're going to be picking in the top five. They're too good. If Lamar Jackson stays healthy, he's gonna he's gonna be at his MVP form. They're not going to be a bottom of the team. I know they play in a tough division, but their defense is pretty good too. They brought it. I mean, they have some guys on that defense. A lot of them were hurt last year. You got Kyle Hamilton. They got some players on that defense. So I don't think they're going to be picking in the top five. And I was actually kind of shocked that they even wanted to do that trade with Max Crosby. I get it, it's Max Crosby, but the Ravens are kind of. I don't think they've ever traded a first round pick in franchise history. I think I saw that on one of the social medias, which I was kind of blown away. But they always have a guy that falls into their laps, kind of like the Eagles. They always have one of those guys that falls into their laps. So I don't know why they would even want to do that. But yeah,
I don't
they're
know. I mean, they
they're
missed the
losers in
playoffs
free
last
agency
year.
for sure.
They
What's
missed
that?
the playoffs and they definitely didn't get better. So I mean, I don't know. I think the Steelers are improved. I mean, if they can get even a Aaron Rodgers where he was at last year, I think it's the Steelers division to lose. I think the Bengals are going to be right there. Like I said, Joe Burrow in every other year is right there. Like in Jamar Chase is the top three wide receiver. It's just the way that division goes. I can't see them getting better than second in their division, and maybe 500 if they're
They
very
still
lucky.
have Lamar Jackson. He's won two Super Bowl MVPs. So
Yeah, he still
uh,
hasn't won any playoff games.
he
He's
can
got to
he can
stay.
carry that team. They got Derrick Henry too. So
He
I
has to
mean,
stay
yeah, you the
healthy.
playoff
One
thing, but
Derrick Henry's
and two.
old.
They lost. Well, they lost their center, who's probably you know done a lot of lead blocking, set up the blocking for him. That's going to be a
Six-time Pro Bowl
huge.
fullback,
Yep. So those two, I think, are going to be huge. Losing
both
those
tight
guys.
ends, two of their three tight
So
ends.
I
like I
agree.
That's like
said,
Those are
half
big
your O
those
line.
are big losses. I agree.
That's
Those are
half.
big losses, but they, like I said, they always have somebody fall to them in the draft. They're going to have a lineman fall to them, and that's just how it goes with those guys. They've got a clover up their butts or something. I don't know. They always have a guy that shouldn't be there for them. So I think they're going to get an lineman to help that offensive line, and I don't think they're going to be that bad. They have the
So
MVP. They have an MVP quarterback. If he can stay healthy, that he can
if
elevate that team and carry him. So
If yeah, I mean, he's the talented as anybody. I mean, they don't win. They don't win with Lamar Jackson. Like they win regular season, but they don't win playoff games. So That's just the way it is. Let's move
Can't
on
ar-
to the
Just
Steelers.
one more thing. I think we just keep piling on since Riley didn't show
We got to
up.
do it since Riley's not here.
Yeah, just keep piling on. Hell with the Raiders.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Let, all right, let's move on to the Steelers. What do you guys think of how they've been doing?
I guess I'll
Uh,
start. I like them, both the physical people they've got, as far as Michael Pittman Jr., big physical receiver, and then also the running back Rico Dowell, from Carolina. That guy just runs physical, so I wonder if they're going to bring back that Pittsburgh style, just smash that rock, and then so I think they could be pretty good. It's just the big thing always is the quarterback and then their offensive line.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Pittman is no small guy. He's what, 6'5", 220. You got DK at 6'4", 235, 240. Dowdell, he's a power runner. He's got two consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. They brought in Jamel Dean to kind of bolster that secondary that already had Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter. And then TJ Watt, who him and the other guy over in Cleveland, two of the best DNs in the whole NFL. Um, and then they're talking about they're tied in the first round. It looks like Ty Simpson is what I saw in one mock draft. I'm not sure that they can get him in the second round. Mike McCarthy, that guy's won everywhere he's gone. So I mean, I like the Steelers this year. I think the physical players they have, uh, I I think getting Pittman is going to be big for DK and for Rodgers if he comes back, which he is because he does the same stupid thing every year. Um, and then Dowdell, I think he's an upgrade from what they had last year too. So I
What
like what
about
they.
that? What about the guy from is it Denzel Washington? The big 6'8" just truck that catches the ball over the middle.
Oh
And
yeah, they
once
got
again,
yeah,
good luck.
man, I got some big boys on that
isn't
line.
he a free? I think he might be a free
No,
agent though,
he's
isn't he?
no, he's still there. I think he re-signed. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he is because
Well,
they
even
were
if they got fire moves still, so I mean they've got some weapons. If
well, they had three
they
tight ends score touchdowns that 1 week. Um, it was it the Bengals? Yeah, against the Bengals. So I mean they still they're going to be physical. It's going to be interesting to see. I think said with Dowdell back there and Pittman help catch underneath stuff. I think DK has a bigger year, and they just they're going to be tough.
Yeah, I
Ron, you
agree.
got any opinions?
Yeah, no, I agree. Pittman was a big trade for them. He's gonna do all the underneath stuff and that DK can't do. Um, so that's gonna be big for their offense. They needed a guy like that. So trading for him, whoever they have at quarterback, it's an upgrade for weapons. But that's the key thing. Who is their quarterback? Is it gonna be Aaron Rodgers? They're gonna trade for Mac Jones, they're gonna do something. That's what that will tell you how their season's going to go. So they signed two safeties, Darnell Savage and Jawan Brisker. I think that's big for them because then they can move Jalen Ramsey. He was playing safety for him. He was kind of doing a hybrid corner safety deal. I think they'll might push him back down to corner. So Jalen Ramsey and Jamel Dean at corner. I think that's pretty solid. Then they also re-signed Asante Samuel Jr. So that'll be their slot guy. Uh, yeah, their defense is. I think it's a little old, but if they can stay healthy, it's going to be a force to a wrecking ball. So um, they made just enough offensive signings with Rico Dowdell in the trade for Pittman that uh, who's their starting running back right now? Is it going to be Rico? You
Oh, it's
think?
got 2,000-yard
Oh,
seasons.
it's Jalen Warren. He was my
Warren.
fantasy guy. Jalen Warren, yeah, he was solid. That's a good combo. between those two.
They also got the kid from Johnson from Iowa that was a rookie that didn't play a whole lot last year.
Yeah, they got a pretty good group of running backs on that team. And the wide receivers looking pretty good. They're probably going to have to get another guy in the draft. Maybe sign somebody. I don't know. Um, I heard rumors about them maybe trading for Brandon Ayuk. I don't think that's happened anymore after the Pittman deal. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. They're set up pretty good. They also got Sebastian Joseph Day, defensive lineman, to help with the middle of their defense. I think they were one of the bottom of the league teams defending the run. It was pretty evident when they played the Ravens. Derrick Henry kind of had some big games, I believe. But yeah, they definitely are winners, I believe. But it depends who they're going to have a quarterback. They can be winners, maybe losers, depending who they get. So if they bring back Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that's that great. But he has some more targets. He can still sling the ball. So yeah, they'll be set up pretty good.
Let's move on to the Carolina Panthers. What do you guys think of their free agent signing so far?
Carolina Panthers.
They had Devin
They spent a
Lloyd.
lot of money, haven't they?
Yep, and at least I think once again they might be right behind the Raiders as far as spending worthwhilely. I mean, they went and got Jalen Phillips from the Philadelphia Eagles to add to that pass rush, which they definitely needed, and they went and got Lloyd from Jacksonville in the middle. So I think with those two additions, I think they're doing pretty good, especially being a surprise team from from last year. I think also a sneaky pick is also what is it, John Michie from Alabama that used to play with Stroud way back in their Alabama days. They had a great connection. So I think he had 96 receptions and about 1,100 yards when they played together in Alabama. So we'll see. That could be a good one.
Sometimes that stuff gets overlooked when like the already built chemistry and stuff like that. So I think the biggest thing, like you said, was that the defense of the Jalen Phillips coming over from the Eagles, paying him 30 million a year. Um, Devin Lloyd, they picked up your boy Kenny Pickett. Um, there's a backup there. They got a newer. Where'd he come from? He came from the Lions. They got an offensive tackle, so they short up a little bit needs. I'm sure they'll get some stuff in the draft as well. Um, but I mean, if they get another receiver to go with Tet McMillan, I think Tet is basically going to be Puka 2.0. So I think it's going to help Young out. I think they'll probably get a receiver in the second or third round. And I think what I saw with the 19th pick is they're tied to the one of the tackles from Utah. Utah's got two first round tackles projected in this draft, and that one of them was projected to go to the Panthers. So they're going to get some help on the offensive side, and they got some good signings on the free agents for defensive side. So, Ron, what do you think?
Yeah, they've had a good offseason so far. They just signed I don't you kind of lagged there for a minute, so I don't know if you said these guys, but they re-signed they signed Rasheed Walker. He was the top of the market left tackle. Um their left tackle, Ikini, how do you I'm gonna butcher his name, but uh Ekem Ikanowu, something like that. I think he tore his ACL or something late in the season. So I think signing Rasheed Walker is kind of their contingency plan. They only signed him to a 1 year deal, but yeah, he's going to come in and not miss a beat with that offense. They also signed a center, uh, Luke Fortner, who's a pretty solid center. So they're definitely how they've got some offensive line to help that little quarterback, Bryce Young. But yeah, those defensive players that Larry said, Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips, those guys are some game changers. So I know that Jalen Phillips, he coming over is going to be big for them. They did uh draft two young guys last year in the draft. Jalen Walker, and I can't remember the other guy, but the other guy was a speed rusher. So they have some pretty good talent on the defensive line there. Plus, they have the big man Derek Brown. So they're set up pretty good. They brought in Devin Lloyd to kind of command the defense. So they have those badass corners. I think they were averaging like a pick a game. I don't know how many they had, but I know when they had two against the Niners and two against the Rams like the week after. So those guys were balling. So J.C. Horn. So yeah, they're set up pretty good. That John, like he said, that John Mechie, that might be a sneaky good pick, being that he played with Bryce Young in Alabama. So we'll see. I do
I think
like their signings so far.
their division sets up nicely for them too. I mean, it's another one of those ones that's like I think they've had a different winter outside of Tampa Bay, had a little run there, but like the Falcons, I mean, they got Bijan, but now they have Tua and Penix, two lefties that I don't know if neither one of them is going to stay healthy. It, they got really good receivers. Drake London obviously is a hell of a receiver. But and then the Saints, like Shuck had a good rookie year, um, but I think he's got to prove it still. I think he's still got a ways to go. Travis Achan, as his name has apparently been mispronounced all these years, but Travis Achan joining the Saints. Um, there to combo with Kamara if they keep him. I don't know that they're going to be that good. Olave is obviously a talented receiver, so I think the Panthers can have an opportunity and put themselves in a place to take that division. So um,
I mean, they won it last year. I mean, it was an asterisk win, conference win, kind of like Larry's championships, but fantasy championships, they're all asterisk wins. But
Show them the
yeah, they're
name on the
set up.
trophy though. Twice.
Hey, I got two there too, bud, and I'm the current champion. So uh yeah, so yeah, they lost their last game, but somehow they're still made the playoffs, even though the team they lost to was the team that was supposed to be, in my opinion. But somehow the Falcons beat the Saints. Uh, yeah, so I don't. That was weird. Anyways, I think if you had they had to have won that game to be in my personal opinion. But yeah, they're like you said, they're set up. The Buccaneers just like lost Mike Evans, so yeah, the Bucks have pretty good receivers. They lost one of their running backs, Rasheed White. He went to the Commanders, so that might be an uptick for Bucky Irving's volume, but I don't know if it's necessarily good for that offense. I think kind of having that 1-2 punch that they had with those guys was pretty good. And then the third string running back on that team is also free agent. So we'll see.
talking about Tucker,
Yeah,
I think they put a tender on his their
yeah. So Bucky Irving's a good fantasy running back. I'm not sure he's going to be that good as production this year. They don't have Mike Evans to open up the field. So the Saints, they're still kind of developing. They've rebuilt that offensive line. So Tyler Shuck's going to have some time back there, but they don't have anybody to throw the damn ball to. Chris Olave is one concussion away from being done potentially. So they'll probably get a wide receiver.
Tua.
Maybe they get a running back. Well, they don't need a running back now, but I know there was mock drafts of them getting Love, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore. But the Falcons, who they got Tua and Penix, two lefties that I don't know, two guys that can't stay healthy. We'll see. Um, they have good players in Bijan and uh, the wide receiver, but I don't. They don't really have much else. So yeah, they're pretty set up to. They've made some good moves this offseason, and they'll probably win the division again.
Let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles. I know we Ron, you got somebody that you'll probably bring on and talk a little bit more about these guys with some passion. But what do you guys think about how they've done so far?
I know they lost three key players on their defense, so they lost
What do you
Jalen
think?
Phillips, obviously, and
The
the
Kobe Dean
linebacker, N'Kobe Dean.
and Reed
Those
Blankenship.
are three starters. The safety Reed Blankenship, he went to Houston, so that's three starters on that defense. And there's talks of them trading the D tackle. So
Jalen Carter. Yeah.
yeah,
So
Jalen
that
Carter. There's talks of them getting rid of him. So and AJ Brown. So like they're kind of a dysfunctional team. Uh, when they're on, they're on. But like if you get them down, they tend to.
What's Georgia's draft stock look like? Because it's normally where they go. They're Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Yeah, I'd probably get that offensive lineman. Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
one thing I
I
think
think they're losers in this. I mean, for all those reasons you said, like they lost a lot. I know they brought Goddard back. It's um I I I don't know. Their offense was way different than the year before. I mean, if they get back to what they were 2 years ago, I don't think Saquon had nearly as many carries. Maybe they were trying to preserve him, preserve his career. Um, but I don't know. I think
That was all offensive coordinator. That was all their offensive coordinator. So they fired that guy. I'm not sure who they've brought in to replace him.
it was the quarterback coach, but since we are on coaches, I think the biggest thing, and I don't know how much talk about it will be, with that they lost their O line coach, Jeff Stoutman, who was there for 13 seasons, that just retired this year, which he turned Jason Kelsey into the center, and then what's the left tackle they have right now?
The
Um,
Jordan, he's
yes,
got that Samoan name,
Yes, I don't
Australia,
want to butcher
the
his name,
rugby
so that's why.
player.
Yes, but changed him into the tackle he is this year or now. So I think that's going to be a big loss on top of the three starters on defense, especially as much as their offense exploded or imploded last year.
I agree. I think that is an often overlooked area is the coaches. I mean, look at Tampa Bay. They lost their coach to Jacksonville. Jacksonville. I knew that was going to be a big addition for them. And Jacksonville had started off red hot, and then they took the big leap. Who was the other offensive coordinator? Um, I can't.
Saints
But
coach
Saints.
Kellen Moore.
Saints. Yep.
Kellen
Kellen
Moore.
Moore,
Kellen
but
Moore. Like
didn't
Saints were improved. I think they're going to make a bigger leap here. I think. I mean,
I think
that's
Tampa Bay's coach came from
yeah. Keep
our
Cohen going to the Jaguars.
no no
Oh, Ben Johnston. Duh. Ben Johnston leaving the Lions. Like, that's another reason why I think Larry's team, the Raiders, is going to their coordinator for the Seahawks. I think it's a bigger loss than you know, and so I think things like that play into it. And I think I think that I didn't know about that old line coach, but if he'd been there that long and developed those guys, that could be a big key thing.
Yeah, he is one of the best offensive line coaches in the league. So yeah, that's huge for them. The one big signing they did make, they signed Reek Woolen. They have a pretty good secondary, but to lose your middle linebacker or like one of your key linebackers and your safety in the backfield and your only pass rusher, I think they got like three or four pass rushers as free agents right now. So but they only have the Georgia guy uh, as a Georgia guy, and then I think that's it as far as pass rushers. So I know there was talks about them maybe trading for Max Crosby, but I hope not. But I don't know. We'll see. They
well
talking about maybe doing a Jalen Carter for Max Crosby, some picks. I don't know, but yeah, they're losers in free agency. That's for sure. They're losing too many guys, and that coach is a big deal.
For sure, for sure. All right,
And they
let's
and they
go.
and they could still lose a couple players with AJ Brown and Jalen Carter. So
It's not over. I mean AJ Brown's kind of up and down with whether he wants to be there or not. So I don't know how long that
well,
drama
that's
goes
that's
on.
be, that's because of the head coach. I'm not sure he gets along with that head coach. Maybe they need to give him a tush push, get him out of there, and put somebody that actually can coach in there. But he won a Super Bowl, so you can't really do that.
Let's cover some of the remaining free agents. When do you guys think these guys will get signed? I guess we'll start at the top of the list here. Jawan Jennings. What do you think he's going to get picked up before the draft, or you wait and see what happens, or what do you think is going to go on with that guy?
I'm honestly surprised that the Titans haven't signed him already, but uh, maybe there was reports of his market being super high. Maybe him not signing is going to have to make it more of a realistic signing because he's not a number one wide receiver. He's maybe a two at number two. He does bring leadership to a locker room, so I think he's going to get signed before the draft, probably in a couple of days. I just he I don't know what's the holdup, but maybe it's the money. Maybe he thinks he needs more money. I don't know. Maybe he comes back to the 49ers on a cheaper deal. Maybe he sees that maybe his market wasn't what he thought it was going to be, and the Niners bring him back. I don't know.
Yeah, come back on a 1 year team friendly deal, play the full year, show up at training camp, show you're the good, player receiver that you need, and ball out this year. And then once again, approach it next year and see your limits there.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen to him is I think he's going to be there. Maybe a team brings him in on one of those 1 year prove it deals. I the Ravens we talked about. I think they could use a guy like him, especially with everything they've lost. Um,
Isn't that what Cooper Cup does for those guys now, though?
who the
Isn't it?
Ravens?
Oh, I thought you said never mind. Yeah, my bad. I thought you were talking about the Seahawks.
Well,
Sorry.
I mean the other reason I think the Ravens use use Jawan is because they were the worst team in the NFL when it came to third down, and the guy's nickname is Third and Jawan. So uh, they could not get a receiving first down to save their lives with a MVP quarterback. So I mean he would be a good fit there. But if he doesn't get picked up in the next couple days, I could see him not getting picked up till after the draft and people trying to see what they are able to pull from that. So, you guys have any other thoughts, or we want to move on to someone else?
I was hoping he was going to get overpaid because the 49ers like those comp picks that you get. So I, if you get, I think how that works is depending on how much money they make is how you get your draft compensation. I know the Niners are big on that, trying to get comp picks. So I was kind of hoping he would get signed earlier, but I don't know. We'll see. Tennessee Titans, I don't know why they haven't signed him yet. He fit really good in that offense. I mean, we'll see.
Let's go to Taylor Decker, released from or asked to be released from the Lions. What do you got? What are your thoughts there?
I know the Chiefs are looking for another offensive tackle, and I'm sure I think he's an older guy, so he's probably wanting to go win a championship, and maybe that's his best spot. The Browns, I don't think anybody wants to go to the Browns. They're looking for a tackle. Uh, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure why he wants to leave the Lions. The Lions are pretty good. Um, I don't know. Maybe he comes to the 49ers if Trent Williams gets traded, but I'm not really sure about what's going on with that. But let's I'm not sure where he's gonna go.
I I
Hey, the
I
Raiders could always use a tackle, but I don't know how much more money we have with Mad Max coming back and thing of
I
that. I know
seen
we
I
did have a
seen
lot of
38
money.
million if with Max on the roster, you got 38 million still.
you
So
guys did not spend it all. That's why like you had to pay extra for these guys. You guys didn't realize you were getting Mad Max back. But yeah, I mean, I think the reason he wants to leave the Lions is the Lions aren't going to win a Super Bowl, and the reason they're not going to win a Super Bowl is their quarterback. There's a reason the Rams got rid of him and took Stafford and won the Super Bowl. Like Goff is a very good QB, but he's not great, and they're not going to win a Super Bowl with Goff. So he's like Alex Smith down in Kansas City. Uh, did good, and then what happens? You bring in Patrick Mahomes, and guess what? It's Super Bowl city now. So I think that's what the problem is there in Detroit. Um, I mean, Campbell's a great coach. He fires people up, but I mean, with that guy pulling the trigger, I don't see him ever winning a Super Bowl.
Maybe it's an offensive scheme thing too. Since losing Ben Johnson, maybe he's more of a fit with that type of scheme. I think they were trying to do similar things, but it wasn't Ben Johnson's offense. So maybe that's why he wants out. Maybe the Bears. Maybe the
Yeah.
Bears. Maybe he'll go to the Bears.
Well, let's move on to Stephon Diggs. Does he have more touchdowns next year or more kids?
He's gonna have more touchdowns. Come
Who is he going to have them with? That's not the kids. I mean the touchdowns.
on. I don't really know much. I don't know where he fits. Maybe that, like Riley said, maybe he goes to Baltimore. Gives him he'd be their number one. So it makes sense for him. Makes sense for the Ravens. I don't think he's going to get a big payday, being that the Patriots cut him. I mean, and then he's had off the field issues prior. So not when you have off the field issues, some teams take you off of even being signed at all. So that might be why he's kind of having a tough time finding a place. But I can see him going to the Ravens.
I would say after the draft, let all the dust settle, see where everyone lands. But my big thing was, what about going to Tennessee? Down to Tennessee Titans with Brian Dayball, see what they could work out, some magic. I don't know if they were together up in Buffalo at the time when they had the connection, but that could be another place that they could use a wide receiver. And he always does good with those good young quarterbacks. Josh Allen, um, Drake May. We'll see.
I could, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of teams that would be okay with people that with records and stuff. Dallas
The
Cowboys,
Chiefs,
Dallas Cowboys,
Chiefs,
yeah,
the
Chiefs.
Cowboys, the Raiders.
I mean, I think he's still got some gas left in the tank. I think he can contribute. Um, it's
Did you
just a matter.
take him at the Raiders, Larry?
No, we with that youth, we got a good young core. We don't need somebody coming from outside stirring it up. That no, let's just build what we have. We don't need anybody to come out and start crying to the quarterback or anything like that. And plus, Vegas and Diggs probably not a good match. Let's just admit that.
Be painting that strip every night. But that's one of those cases where I think he's having more kids and touchdowns, um, if that's the case. So, I mean, God help the Minnesota if he goes back there. It's like there's not enough daycares with the Smallies running there. So, I think I he's one of those guys. I also think that will probably get through the draft and see what you're able to pick up, and then he finds a home. So. Um, let's move on to Joey Bosa. What do we think is place for this guy?
49ers. I think that's kind of what they're going to do. They're going to put the Bosa brothers together. He's going to be a cheap option. Bryce Huff just announced a retirement on Instagram, I think either today or yesterday.
I think it was
So there's a
last
spot
night.
open for our pass rush. I mean, he's primarily a pass rusher now this late in his career, but since we have Mikael Williams who sets the edge and is a really good run defender, he'd be perfect to come in on third down, push Mikael into the middle next to the guy we just traded for, Osa. So we'll have the Bosa and Osa in the middle. So I think it makes sense. It makes sense for him. I think they've talked about want play together, Joey, and they've been wanting to play together. So
That's been talk for quite a while, even before, right when we were trying to get Nick re-signed. It's like,
he was going to re-sign last year. It's just the Niners didn't want to. We're trying to get younger, cheaper because they had capped issues. They didn't want to pitch up the extra 2 million or whatever it was that the Bills gave him. So I can see him coming to the Bay.
Yeah, I think the Huff retirement and basically your analysis of using him on third down would be key. I think that would be huge. Um, and just kind of having a crazy blitz package set up for him. So I mean, I think if Bosa or the other Bosa Nick can get healthy with all this other help, I think he's going to have a hell of a year. I just don't know how you could double team him. Not with Osu in the middle and Mikael Williams and whoever else we have. So, Larry, you got anything?
Well, of course, I'd love him to put him on one side and Mamnax on the other. I mean, and just say, go, you know, and then Butler in the middle. Then you got those guys in the middle with the new linebackers. That could be a heck of a wrecking crew back there, but I don't see that happening. I probably see him going to play, with his brother towards the tail end of his years. You know, it's just that whole transformer thing and the injury history with those guys. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are pretty injury prone.
yeah. I
And
don't.
I think they believe in that type of stuff, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. So maybe I don't know, maybe that keeps them away. So I don't know.
So let's move on to another former Niner, I guess. Old Debo. What? Where do you think this guy ends up? You think he's pre-draft, post-draft, and what kind of destination?
I mean, I
I would.
predicted that he was going to go to the Ravens, but being that he hasn't signed yet, he's probably going to be a cheap deal. So I hope he doesn't come back to the Niners, but I could see it happening. He would kind of take Jawan Jennings' spot, which he would be an upgrade over Jawan. It's just the money. I don't know how much money he wants. Uh, I wouldn't mind having him, but it's like I don't want to overpay. But
Did
like
he
I
have
said,
a
Baltimore makes sense. Um,
Did he have
I
a
don't know.
deal? Are the Commanders still paying him
No, he only
the 1 year prove it
did he get
deal?
released? I think his contract. He's a free agent.
So he did a 1 year deal last year.
Yeah, he was on his final year of the contract when the Commanders traded for him. They kind of negotiated, rearranged the money, whatever, to make it work. But he's a free agent, so he can go anywhere. Maybe Tennessee.
I could see Tennessee.
Go with Robert Saleh.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a post draft guy. I think people are going to see what they can get in this draft with the depth at wide receiver, and then maybe bring him in. I think he can be a good mentor. Um, what's the other? What's that? One of the places I could see him potentially going is Carolina. Um, he's got the South
Oh,
Carolina
Carolina.
City.
That's where he played
Xavier,
college ball.
yeah, so the Xavier
That makes sense.
Leggett. Um, I can see that like they need another receiver down there, so he could be a good fit down there. I don't know if it'll happen, if anything will happen for him though before next month. So
Yeah, two I would say is maybe the Colts, just with the loss of Pittman. That frees up a little bit of space. See what they could do, especially with Alec Pierce. So could run some routes with those two, and then the Browns down there with the what's their coach's name? I don't want to butcher his name. Starts with the M. Um, their head coach, but he's I think well you could use Dabo Sweeney, not Dabo Sweeney. Gosh, Lord, Debo
Debo
Samuel.
Samuel.
Yeah, Debo Samuel. Pretty good too on the offense. With Deshaun Watson because that's gonna who the quarterback's gonna be.
Yeah.
yeah, I can stay on that massage table. And the Stefanski, isn't that who you're talking about? Need the Browns head coach?
No, he
No,
went down to Atlanta, and so it's
it's the
Molken.
Baltimore
Yeah,
offensive
Molken is I think
coordinator or
his last
something.
name, something like that.
Baltimore
Molken.
lost another person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
their
lost.
offensive
I think it was
coordinator.
Holy
their offensive
cow! Yeah,
coordinator.
they're not picking in the top five next year.
Todd Molken, I think his name is, or something
Oh,
like.
Munkin.
Yeah, Monken.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. All right. So yeah, I mean, I let's move on to the old QBs. Start off with Kirk Cousins. Is that guy gonna get one more shot, or is he gonna have to ride in the sunset and wait for like a Joe Flacco situation to happen again this year to even be considered?
I think it might be come down to what Aaron Rodgers does. If Aaron Rodgers decides to retire, maybe he goes plays for the Steelers. But if Aaron Rodgers comes back, he might be just sitting waiting for an injury in camp. Uh, I don't see anybody signing him right now.
I think he's gonna be in Minnesota. Um, I think he'll be QB3. I think the Kyler Murray. I think with to be honest, I think Kyler Murray has a shot to revive his career with the coach and like that guy can just run around and do crazy shit and throw it up, and no better person to do that to than JJ. So if the QB Whisperer can do his magic, the only failed project he really has is nine. So I mean, if they don't get rid of nine, I think they have to keep nine. Um, I don't see him going anywhere. I think Cousins can would be QB3. Otherwise, he's gonna pull a Flacco and wait till somebody gets hurt and come in later in the year. What do you think, Larry?
Raiders wouldn't be bad for him. I mean, if let Mendoza maybe even sit, but he always wants so much money that I mean he's not worth his money. Now, if he does like a team friendly, 1 year, 10 million, you know, uh, dollar deal or something like that. And then, just like with Penix, let him start 6, 7 games, let Mendoza watch the speed and all that, and then pull him out and, go from there. But as far as starting, I don't see much of him starting really anywhere. Maybe another sneaky one might be the Chiefs until Patrick Mahomes maybe, comes along, which that couldn't be a bad because I don't think Mahomes will be back until maybe 6, 7, 8, something like that. So he could be.
Yeah, I think Mahomes. From what I've seen, I think he's out at least the first third of the season. So I don't hate that take. Um, anything else, or you want to move on to Rogers?
I'm good.
Let's go on Rogers.
I mean, I think it's either the Steelers or retirement. I think those are really his only options. I don't see him any other team really wanting him. Um, their head coach and him were together at the Packers, so it makes sense that he would come back, give it one more shot. Um, yeah, it's either Steelers or nothing.
I think the head coach is the main thing why he's back this year. I mean, if they missed the playoffs last year, I don't think I don't think it mattered who the hell the coach was. But I think that combined with McCarthy coming over, I think he'll be back for one more run. Depending on how it goes, he'll probably do the same thing next year. Him and
Do you think that if they're the team that's drafts Ty Simpson in the draft, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to mentor him or
No, it's him and Brett Favre are the same things. In about 10 years, we'll hear about how he scammed somebody through some kind of BS thing. They are literally on the same path, the same story. Aaron Rodgers kind of weird and crazy. So I mean, he's not going to mentor anybody. He doesn't care. He's one of the more selfish people I think in the NFL. So Larry, what do you?
Yeah, it's he's going to either stay with Pittsburgh for one more year and go from there, which is going to leave him in the limbo that they've been in for the last how many years since old Big Ben retired. I mean, so that's the biggest thing is they need to let Will Howard see what they got with him and go on from there. Let him build chemistry with the guys. If not, next year's draft has plenty of young, good quarterbacks that you could go for. And if Will Howard sucks, guess what? The higher draft you'll be up. But I say just let Rogers go. Roger that. He's out.
All right, let's go one last free agent and then we'll wrap it up. Let's go with David Njoku. Any reason why you guys think this guy is not signed yet?
I mean, I think he's a little older, 28, 29. He's kind of been banged up. He was banged up last year a little bit. Um, I don't know why he's not signed. Maybe he wants too much money. Uh, I don't really know a team that needs him right now. I would have thought maybe the Chiefs if they didn't re-sign Kelsey. Maybe the Niners. We need a tight end. Maybe he can come to the Niners for a little bit. But like I said, it's the money thing. The Niners don't want to spend that much money, especially on a guy that might be a backup. So I don't really know what's up with him. Be
I don't
interesting
see
to
him
see
as
where
a
he goes.
Yeah, I don't see him as a backup. It's got to be money issues. I watched the documentary thing on him. It made me like him even more. I mean, he put up good numbers in Cleveland, which of all places is like you don't do that receiver wise there. Um,
Yeah, yeah. He's a
so I
freak
mean,
of nature. So
yeah, it's
athletic.
I think he's going to end up in Miami. I think that's kind of where his home is. I think that's where he'll end up. I think Miami's just kind of letting the dust settle, trying to figure things out. I don't know if it's the money issue why he hasn't yet, but I I think that guy will he'll end up back there. I know he runs like a fitness, um, takes care of himself, so his age is there's guys in there like Mike Evans being 33. I mean, there's receivers that some of their best years were in those years. So for that type of position, he hasn't had the George Kittle type injuries. Um, just as long as we keep him away from fires and gasoline and fireworks and stuff like that, I think he's going to be fine for another couple of years at least. So, Larry, what do you think?
One team I was looking at, that's why I was looking at my phone real fast to see who the Commanders have, and I think they actually they signed that guy from Tennessee. So I do
Chigawusu.
think, yeah, I wasn't going to try to say that name.
Yeah.
You already said
I
you
don't
try
even
to
know if that's
say,
right.
but those guys, with him, Jalen Daniels, those guys out in the outside might be something. But I do like Miami. See what they could do, especially with Malik Willis. Give him a nice, good target down there, coming down to the Dolphins. But yeah, it'll all have to see, how it plans. Um, like you said, the Niners behind Kittle wouldn't be too shabby either.
Yeah,
Or,
I don't see the
or
Niners being like they just
both of them.
redid Tonjes. So uh,
Larry froze.
yeah, he's back. He's got my internet. Um, was it who was it that they signed the? I know they just signed a tight end.
Who?
The Commanders.
Chig from Tennessee. The
Oh,
tight
that's
end
right.
from
Yep,
Tennessee,
yep.
Chig.
Chig.
Uh, I
Yep.
don't know how to say his last name. I think I butchered it earlier, but
Yeah. Well, that's probably why I had to look it up. I was like, what in the heck is he even talking
yeah.
about? So, let's wrap it up. Let's get I didn't prep you guys or whatever, but let's go after this talk. Let's hear your last best take. Ron, what do you got? Or do you need a minute?
Um, I think it's crazy how many trades have happened already this year, and I think there's going to be a couple big, big trades again. Whether that be Max Crosby again, Jalen Carter, AJ Brown. It's kind of been crazy how many players have switched teams. For a last best take, um, I know we didn't talk about them, but the Washington Commanders have been winners in free agency. Also, they've gotten some good young wide receivers to help. They got that tight end. They got some pieces to help Jaden Daniels develop. And when the Niners release Ayuk, apparently he's going to go over there. So now running back Rashad White, he was teammates with Jaden Daniels at ASU. So they have that connection. He's a good running back. Uh, he's going to probably be their one. They got that guy that came from Arizona last year that did pretty good. Uh, yeah, I think the Commanders are winners. So that's my last best take. We didn't talk about them. I just wanted to say that I think they're winners. Uh, yeah,
Larry, you got any? You're muted. Muted. He's,
he's muted.
he's
And
talking all that trash about his Raiders, and
yep. So back to it. The number one, since it's a free agency, is the Las Vegas Raiders. The ads they did, and then to get um Max Cosby back. I mean, that's just incredible, which almost pushes us. I'd hate to say it, but maybe even a wild card team with the amount of spending. If you looked at, everyone's been talking about the people who spend the most money last year. I forget how many of the top 10 were actually, I think it's 6 out of the top 10 highest spenders were actually in the playoffs. So that
The
could be
Seahawks
something.
and the Patriots were the 1 and 2. So
Yep. So, that's always something that, puts a little hope in my eyes since the last year's, pretty much by the second week of the season, you could tell, yeah, we had better chance having phone sex with the deaf chick than us getting to the playoffs. So, that's, my hot take is that, watch out. We might get into the playoffs as a wild card team, you know. I'll be better the
mute.
next hot take.
The my hot take is another team we didn't talk about, but I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills finally taking that step. I think it's time. I think they got a receiver that can help put them in over there with DJ Moore. Um, Open up Allen and open up Cook even more. Not that they needed it. I think these guys will make that step this year and be that top team. They got dog crap like the Patriots, if you want to say, is their only competition. But I don't think the Patriots were that good. Like they literally played the easiest schedule of all time. I think Drake May is a good QB, but I don't think he is there yet. So I think the Buffalo Bills are a team that plays in the Super Bowl. That's my last best take.
I think another one, John Lynch is cooking this offseason. Just going to throw that out there. Mike Evans trading for Oso, uh,
That D is
getting
looking
Dre
good.
Greenlaw back. I mean, I love it. So John Lynch is cooking. Keep it up.
As long as we get a couple linemen in the draft and don't draft a kicker or punter in the third or fourth round, I think we'll be all right.
As you guys have known with those guys, stay healthy. That's the main thing. Those guys always, start off great and then cannot stay healthy. And then, injuries pile up and so do the losses.
Awesome. So, I appreciate if you guys made it this long. That's we appreciate it. Please like, comment. We are on multiple platforms. Ron, I'm gonna let you take over. You kind of run all that where we're all at. But like us, share us. Let us know what you think. If you'd like to come on and give us crap about whatever, let us know, and would love to have you on.
Yeah. We have make sure you go check out all our pages. We got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're on YouTube. We even have Spotify. So, yeah, definitely
Big
check us
time.
out. I've had a
Big
couple
time.
people already reach out to me about trying to get on the show to talk about their teams. So, that's awesome. I want to make sure that you guys go subscribe to our YouTube channel though. I think we'll only bring people that are on that are subscribed to that. So uh we're set up to possibly do a show with a Eagles fan. So I talked to
Philly
him today.
special.
So but if what?
The Philly special.
Yeah. So we got that in the works. Yeah, if any of you guys want to jump on, talk about your favorite teams, we can go over what your team's done so far. Uh maybe even work towards the draft. Maybe do a mock draft, 3 round mock draft. Yeah, make sure you like and share this video.
All right, guys. Thanks, and have a good night. Happy Friday the 13th.
Happy Friday the 13th. Good luck. Let's go Raiders.